When I told my mum I wanted to grow up and be a comedian, she said, you can't do both. And she's right, being a comedian makes you quite immature. I'm sort of like a 14-year-old boy trapped inside a man's body. Not in a Michael Jackson way. Because he's a child at heart, not because he fucks kids. Because he definitely doesn't, for legal reasons, so...
Good people of Atlanta, we must never forget that Anthony Bourdain killed himself. Anthony Bourdain had the greatest job that show business ever produced. This nigga flew around the world and ate delicious meals with outstanding people. That man, with that job, hung himself in a luxury suite in France. They say 2000 party over, oops, out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999. I knew a nigga in high school that was an urban genius. This motherfucker's grades were so good, he got all the way from the hood to an Ivy League school with a full scholarship. From there, the motherfucker got himself into one of the best law schools in the country. And when he was in law school, he met a woman, and they fell in love. And they were gonna get married. I remember him telling me about it. He was home for Christmas, and I told him, I said, my man, save that bitch for later in your life. But he's in love. He didn't listen to me. He married her while he was in law school. And sadly, they got divorced while he was in law school. He was a street nigga from the hood. This man had nothing. And that bitch took half of that. And then I just never saw him again for years. And then 2 years ago, I was home in D.C. doing some shopping, trying to buy my sons some socks at Foot Locker. I go to Foot Locker, guess who's the manager? That nigga. Dressed like a referee, the whole shit. This motherfucker is 45 years old. We went out drinking that night just trying to catch up, and he told me, he said he's been living with his mother for like 10 years, just trying to get back on his feet. But that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is, never occurred to this nigga to kill himself. He's alive and well in D.C. I even suggested to him that he should try it out. Like, I don't know, nigga, you might
Yo, Punjabis, be honest. When Trudeau did the Punjabi face, and what was more offensive, that he put on the turban or he made y'all dark skinned? Which was more offensive? Yeah, there's a bunch of Punjabis in the group chat like, yo, how the fuck are you gonna make us Sri Lankan, bro? This is crazy, yo. We're from the north of India. We're fair-skinned. We light-skinned Indians over here. Get it right, Trudeau. Oh, this guy Trudeau, shut the fuck up, this guy. Does anybody, I mean, does anybody like him? Nobody likes him, right? I know, that's funny. Scared of some truckers, you saw that shit. Oh, I have COVID, I can't come out here. You fucking pussy, dude. What a fucking pussy. Dude, what a pussy. His dad would be so embarrassed, dude. Because Fidel Castro was all about protest, and...
I couldn't fucking stand that guy. He was so fucking negative. He never had anything positive to say. Hey, Steve, what do you got for us today? In 2035, there'll be no more apples. Thank you, Steve. Thanks a lot. Wasn't thinking about that. Now I am. Hey, so what's the solution? It's too late. We needed to try 40 years ago. Thanks a lot, buddy. I'm gonna go cry with my child now. Dude, I can hang out with that guy for about 3 minutes before I took the brake off his chair and just zoomed him into the other room. Hey, Steve, come back in when you got something dumb and positive to say.
No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to the cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be me coming out going, well done, Netflix, you win everything. Good night. But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer. And it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
As a young guy trying to achieve the success that you have already achieved.
You ain't that fucking young.
Well, just
Stop
hold on.
fucking with everybody that's
Hold
a
on.
little bit older.
Well, let's just, wait a minute. Nobody...
Dude, Don, a legend, so dirty like that.
And me, you know, I'm 56 years old.
Damn! I'm sorry.
Are you all familiar with Simon Cowell? Do you know Simon Cowell? Yeah. Simon Cowell spends £500,000 every year on his own personal security. That's an extraordinary amount of money, isn't it? £500,000 a year on personal security. Has Simon not considered being less of a cunt?
I consider Seth an icon, I do. Like, I got a critique about Seth. It's too much Seth. It's almost like he's jealous of his own creation, where he wants to prove I'm better than the cartoons. See, but I think the problem is with Seth is that he don't have a partner. You know, like the South Park guys or Hanna-Barbera. I know we've read that old story that Hannah once said, I'm bigger than Yogi, and Barbera slapped the shit out of him for saying that. Seth needs a Barbera to slap him and slap him twice. Once to say, hey man, don't forget why people love you. And 2, just say you're gay. No straight man writes that many show tunes. That's a fact.
Oh, Julia Roberts, you live next to me at the beach. You know that. Thanks for all the visits. Anyway, I'm living about 2 blocks from you. The broad never shows up. Come by and say hello.
Closer than 2 blocks.
You have no lines, Julia. Just nod. Anyway,
Talking of The Walking Dead, congratulations to Hugh Hefner, who's getting married at the age of 84 to 24-year-old beauty, Crystal Harris. When she was asked why she was marrying him, she said because he lied about his age. He told me he was 94. Oh, come on. Don't worry. Hold out and just don't look at it when you touch it. That.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists gotta go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we gonna get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. Well, there's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it! Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know.
Let me tell you about a story so true. We're showing me style and it's all so cool. It's about a garment torn and frayed, getting this threads, the story conveyed. Walking down the streets with holes in my teeth. Each rip things here, part of me you see. It ain't about the brand or the label it holds. It's about the journey, the stories it unfolds. In these ragged clothes I find my voice, a testament to resilience. My choice from the streets to the stage, I rock my style. In my tattered shirt, I walk that mile. Ripped and torn, but still I stand in my ragged attire. I command, it's not just fabric, it's a statement I preach. In my threadbare garment, I find my reach. From the barrio to the bar, I make my mark. In my worn out jeans, I leave a spark. They may call it rags, but I call it art. In every stitch and tear, I play my part. It's the struggle of the streets, the hustle so real. In my tattered jacket, I seal the deal. A symbol of defiance against the status quo. My patched up pants, I let it show. It's not about the riches or the wealth I lack. In my faded hoodie, I stay on track. It's the heart of the hustle, the grind each day. In my worn out kicks, I find my way. Ripped and torn, but still I stand. In my ragged attire, I command. It's not just fabric, it's a statement I preach. In my threadbare garment, I find my reach. So here's to the ones with the clothes that tear. In our patched up attire we have, so let the world see our garments worn. For in our rags, our stories are born. In the language of the streets we speak. In our torn up clothes we find our peak.
Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults, dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.